you're in the splash zone here. 3-time elite coach, 2018 elite coach, superstar diamond coach. Smile big there, Chelsea. 51 months in Success Club. She's an executive leader on our leadership ladder, a member of the Millionaire Club. She's from Mooresville, North Carolina, and she is ready to rock and roll. Is that fair, Chelsea?
Wow, beautiful, Jeff. Thank you so much.
I did all that in one breath, and I only sprayed on my screen like 42 times. I'm going to have to like get the squeegee now and clean up. So hopefully none got on you.
No, and I am ready to rock. And this is such an honor because my business is truly built off of this call. So to be able to serve and give back to the network and share what I've learned over the last 6 years is a huge honor for me.
Well, hey, Anna aside, congratulations on your superstardomness. That's that you achieved Superstar Diamond just last month, I think. So that's fantastic as well.
Thank you so much. My team, it's all my team for sure.
Yeah, well, and it is. It's always a good thing to point out. It takes a team to do this. Well, let's jump in. We're going to get to the meat of this call quickly, but just let's get to know you a little bit. How did you get into coaching?
Okay, so I want to put it into context for all of you guys watching. I was 21 years old when I signed up to become a coach, and I actually was a college dropout who had recently gained 50 pounds. I was too ashamed to go to the gym. I was struggling with depression and anxiety and feeling like a failure because my 4-year plan hadn't worked out. And so my parents had purchased Turbo Jam for me when I was in high school. So I literally took that DVD off the shelf because I was too embarrassed to go to the gym. I dusted it off, and it was that dusty DVD in my parents' home that eventually led to losing 50 pounds with Beachbody workouts and Shakeology. So, you know, when I started this journey, I didn't have anything but results. I didn't have credibility. I felt like I didn't have the education, the qualifications, but what I did have was belief. I had passion, and I had that first person experience, and I knew there were people out there like me, even just a 21-year-old college dropout who's trying to figure out how to, you know, put back together the pieces of her life. I knew there was someone out there like me that I could help, and that's what I began to build my business off of.
Well, and again, so coaches out there, I always try and listen carefully to what people say on these calls. I really, really do, and it always amazes me. So what she said was she built this off of her belief, off of the results that she was getting. And she may not have been completely there, but regardless, she was in a program that she had picked. She went after that passionately and got results, and that gave her that initial ammunition, if you will, to share with some confidence. But you've then got to get to a point where it gets beyond that, because the business matures and you mature if you're going to make this a business, right, Chelsea?
Absolutely. And
so, go ahead.
Well, it's funny because my business started to take off when I really truly embraced the fact that my physical transformation happened for me. It was not something to be ashamed of. It was something to be proud of. And I want to note that I was an inactive coach for 7 months. I resisted Shakeology. I just paid my business service fees for 7 months until something clicked. And I really truly believe that not only could I build a new body, but I could build a business and ultimately a legacy through my story. The first few months of my business were pretty explosive because they were fueled almost exclusively by results and being proof the products work. And I want to stress that. I didn't have an onboarding system or a training system. I had results. I wore my credibility. I had a love for finding that Chelsea out there that I could serve. And I had an Instagram account that I shared my journey on. And I didn't overcomplicate it. And at the time, I didn't even know I could overcomplicate it. I just shared the products and the opportunity by living them and breathing them. And the only thing that I knew about this business was that my business results and my income were a direct reflection of the lives that I was changing. And I could change more lives if I was better proof that the products work. And I was on a journey, and I just wanted to take people with me. So I didn't think about having to be the after photo or have this perfectly polished business. I just wanted to take people with me. I think maybe it was also a lack of confidence that ended up serving me because I had to take an approach of humility. And I just committed to basically saying, I'm going to find out the answer for you. I'm going to lead from the front. And if I don't know the answer, you can count on me to find it. And I believe that's what allowed me to face any problem and any objection with confidence.
Yeah, I think that's a great approach. Is just this concept of, you know what, I don't think anyone really expects you to know all of the answers. I guess it would be nice if you did, but if you have the confidence to be able to say, and the resolve to be able to say, hey, you know what, I don't know, that's a great question, I don't know the answer to that, but I'll find out for you. So that can be a great foundation for growth in yourself. So Chelsea, I didn't know you were an actor for 7 months. Had I known that, I'm not sure we would have put you on the call. You're here now, so we're going to deal with what we've got. I'm teasing, we totally would have. Okay, so let's jump in now to this concept of objections and how they can build your confidence, how they can create a followership, and the most common, and how you address with those. So I'm going to just toss it over to you and let you run.
Awesome. All right, coaches, I hope you have your notebook because I have some specific different things that you can say and techniques to handle objections. So I'm speaking about objections today because I believe it's the #1 reason why we are afraid to invite. Last week's National Wake Up Call was incredible. There's so many different ways to put yourself out there and start that conversation. But what do we do when a question comes our way that we don't know how to answer, or maybe our prospect misunderstands our intention or the business model? Like I said, when I first started coaching, I had the belief without the knowledge. I had lost 50 pounds, so I was living proof that our products could change lives. But what I didn't have was a deeper understanding of our products and the company history, the business model, all those things that are scary for us and potentially keep us from inviting. I had results, but it was those life-changing results that ultimately gave me the confidence. So some of you guys are in the exact same place that I was. You have the results and you have the belief, you just don't have the answers. And then there are some of you who have the belief and the knowledge. You have your PhD in coaching, but you are struggling to take action because you're viewing objections as something to fear versus something that is going to build your faith in what we do. So my mission today, no matter where you are starting, is to share with you why not having all the answers is the answer, and why avoiding objections is actually causing you to avoid growth and success. An objection is simply an unanswered question. So you might have invited and you got no objection as your response, and your prospect is ready to sign up and join you. And that is an awesome feeling, but you can't expect it every single time. An invite with an objection as a response means that that person is interested enough to want to learn more about what you're offering. It's just a follow-up question or a fear of theirs that's coming to light. And from the beginning of my coaching career, I was not out to convince anyone. I was out to find the people who wanted to change and lead the most inspiring example to attract those people into my life. And I believe that I can contribute my love for this business to the fact that I'm not out to convince anyone. Neither should you. We're not here to change anyone's mind or win an argument about who's right and who's wrong. So when I was talking to people, it wasn't charged with negative energy or fear. It was exciting because the more objections or questions that were thrown my way, the more opportunities as a coach I had to find out that answer for them. I know I have a deep respect for anyone who says, that is a great question. I don't know the answer to that. Let me find it for you, because it shows me that they're listening and they care about my needs and they're honest and trustworthy. But to have a posture and be received like that with trust and respect, you've got to decide to become the kind of coach that people can trust, will be on this journey with them no matter what, and be the kind of coach that will find the answer no matter how hard. And once you go all in, your prospects will feel it. So the most common objections that I hear and I have heard over the last 6 years are rooted in 3 things: no money, no confidence, and no idea. And the objection that you receive will point you in the direction of your prospect's main problem or question. Now, the reason it seems that the objection is all they really care about, it's because you haven't shown them that you have the answer to the thing that they do care about, or you haven't taken the time to really understand what it is that they care about. So today I'm going to share with you an example of each of those 3 objections and how I would personally handle that conversation. So the first one, no money. This is one of my favorites. And what's really cool is that as you start to truly believe and understand and experience the value of our products, you actually hear this a lot less because you feel the value in your DNA. And as people, we project a lot of our beliefs onto other people. So the stronger our convictions are in any area, the less we hear the objection. And the more you start to consistently hear a common objection, the more you want to just do kind of like a self-check and see where your beliefs are, and if they're solid or if they're shaky and you need to do a little bit more research. So when I started drinking Shakeology, I was making $15 an hour, student loan debt, living at home, and I decided to stop buying coffee, no online shopping, and I didn't drive my car unless I had to save on gas. That's my story, and that's what I share. So I want you to write out your challenge pack or Shakeology investment story from the other side, not as a coach, but as someone who was intimidated, because your authentic story is money. And then when they bring up the price, ask them this: could I share with you my story? Your empathy and honesty might be all they need. And if that doesn't work, you could ask this question: is price the only thing that's stopping you? Now, this is an awesome response because you get to hear their real fears. And I've learned that a price objection isn't real until someone has brought it up more than once. Usually it's an escape route, it's a way to procrastinate, or it's just a way to avoid the conversation. But if it's a fear of something else, you can address their fear directly. And then the price objection usually goes away. And if it is a price objection, you can say these 3 words. I love this. Tell me more. You don't ever have to guess what's going on. You can ask them. So do they already have a protein powder? You can explain that Shakeology is so much more. Do they have debt? You can offer them the coaching opportunity. Are they afraid of spending money and risking that? Talk to them about the money back guarantee. Is it a sticker shock issue? You can break it down by price or ask them how much they spend per meal. Do they truly want it but can't afford it? Well, you can ask them if they're open to hearing your story and offer some help on how you budgeted for a new expense each month. And I found that in this process, when I let go of guessing and trying to read someone's mind and just ask, I love the process. And these questions are so critical, so you don't have to word vomit every answer you've got in your arsenal. You truly can get to the needs and the feelings of the person you're trying to serve. And if people are responding like they don't want help, believe them, move on, bless and release. So the second objection that I hear is no confidence. And typically when a prospect has no confidence in their ability to successfully reach their goals, their excuses or their own limiting beliefs start to emerge. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually an awesome opportunity for you to showcase your coaching in the conversation before they sign up. They don't believe they can lose weight. They don't believe they can inspire other people. And this lack of confidence is actually the reason they need a coach or they need to be a coach. So when you get this objection, get excited because it's proof there's a huge demand for what we do. And when your prospect indicates that they can't because they don't have the support, they failed in the past, they've tried other MLMs, that is not a reflection on you or what we do. That is a reflection of very real pain or negative experiences from their past. Not that this coaching thing doesn't work or that this coaching thing is not for you. Their experiences are real, and we need to meet people where they are. I especially love hearing people try different shakes, home workouts, or even other network marketing opportunities for one reason. Our company is different. We are outstanding. And while some might be afraid that everyone is already being sold or invited and disappointed online, I get excited. Challenge accepted, guys. I think of it like my customer is Simon Cowell, and I've got my ear to the door listening to a horrible audition in front of me, and I know that I can nail it, and our products and opportunity are going to blow them away. The worse the person before us, the better we look. So here are some questions that you can ask to unearth their fears and encourage them with your experience. Ask them something like, what is the biggest risk in your eyes? What would happen if you failed? What is the scariest part about this for you? What hasn't worked for you in the past and why? What was your previous experience with that other product or that other company like? What does success look like to you? And how would it feel if you could make that happen? In my experience, my success in having confidence with inviting was all about embracing the objections, not overcoming them. And this entire journey is about authenticity and really helping people. I don't want to overcome, I want to understand. So by asking those questions and being committed to honoring their feelings and experience more than my bottom line, it allowed me to hear what was really going on and then speak directly to the feeling or the need that that person had. Or even take it a step further and share social media content or build a free group inspired by the objection that I keep hearing again and again, like a time management group, a budgeting challenge, or a book club where we can work together on their confidence. And the final objection that I hear all the time is just no idea. The people that I talk to have no idea what I'm doing. They have no idea what Shakeology truly is. They don't know what Beachbody On Demand actually has or what the coaching community offers us. They're interested and they say, they're not interested. They say thanks, but no thanks, even though I know they would be amazing and love what we do. Maybe they're misinformed and they say, I don't want to sell anything. Meanwhile, we're all selling something no matter what career we're in. And as we all know, coaches don't sell. We give and we share, we help, we mentor, and we run this race with our customers. If they're not in, respectfully say something like, I completely respect your decision. If I can help or support you in any way, now or in the future, let me know. I'm here for you. If they're not interested and they don't want help, make a recommendation of something that can help them outside of Beachbody, like a podcast, a video, or a cookbook. Talk about integrity and credibility. If I can't help you, maybe I can help you find someone who can. When you're talking to your friends and your family, your warm market, be warm and easygoing, because these are relationships you want to nurture and protect. And they're going to see your results and see it firsthand. So you don't want to ruin this relationship by forcing something on them or arguing. If someone challenges your decision or your choice to become a coach or work out from home, remember, you're not asking them for their opinion. You're offering to include them in your world. You're not taking a survey to hear what they think about the network marketing industry, supplements, or fitness in general. You've made your decision and it's right for you. And if someone misunderstands you, say something like, before I say anything else, I just want to share my heart. I don't want you to think this. My only mission is to do that. What better way to share your heart and your true intentions than to share your heart and your true intentions? And as they start to respond with hesitations, objections, or questions, answer what you can and respect their choice. But then make a list of all the objections you hear. And for the rest of your coaching career, weave the answers to those questions into your social media content. If they have that question, there must be other people who have the same misconception. And I know I personally take full responsibility of not explaining or demonstrating the magic of Beachbody in my social media presence and life. And it's necessary for me to share that I have crushed an objection with perfect execution, and I still get no's, no thank yous, not right nows, and flat out nevers. But I love them. They are fuel to my fire, and they push me to live out what a mistake it was for them to pass out on my invite. I will always follow up, and there will always be an open door. But I call it talking the talk and walking the walk. Once everything is said and done, it is our job as coaches to show them what they're missing, show them the value, show them the joy, show them the lasting transformation, show them how this was the best decision that we have ever made. Because there is no price tag, no fear, no insecurity, no past failure, or no misconception that could ever stop us from doing what we do. Our job is to overcome the objection through our words, but more importantly, overcome objections every single day with the way that we lead our life and impact the lives of others.
Boom! Well done. Man, there are so many nuggets in there, Chelsea. Thank you so much. A couple of things that there were a lot of highlights there, but just a couple things that I thought were so powerful, where you said, our job is to understand, not to come. Sometimes what I think we do as coaches is we feel like we've got to be perfect, we've got to have the right answer right at our fingertips, and we're trying to force an answer on them to overcome that objection, versus simply understand really what they need, really what they want, and then you can craft or go find a solution that meets their needs and find out whatever that answer is. You do that, then they know you're coming from the right place. So I think that was one real nugget. The other piece that that kept resonating to me was you weren't telling, you kept asking questions and listening. And that's, literally, I guess that's the key to all communication, is to, asking great questions. And the other thing that at the end, you started talking about blessing and the blessing and releasing kind of a deal. Now, you shouldn't do that too early, but on the other hand, there comes a point where, if you can have if you get to I always call it the yellow light. A lot of times when we get to a yellow light, what happens in a car is we speed up and we try and get through it. And that's like an objection. We try and speed through that objection versus slowing down, understanding. And if you can resolve it, then you're in a lot better place. If you can't resolve it and the answer is no, then you're in a good place too, because you got to a no faster, and you can bless, and release. And then I thought the last piece, and then I'll be quiet and we'll wrap up here, but I thought one of the last pieces that's just the magic for any coach is that you make a list of the objections. And it's a little bit like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. If you're not making that list and you hear price objections or time objections or confidence objections, and you've heard those more than 2 or 3 times and you've never taken the time to really trying to refine an answer that works well, then you have some work to do. And I think we probably have got a little bit of work to do. So we're about ready to wrap up here, Chelsea, but before we just kind of go to the Beachbody close, so to speak, anything else you want to say that we may have missed, or you thought, I wanted to say this, but this came to mind?
Well, I actually kind of passed something over. I just want to make sure that everyone understands that the education that I learned as a coach, the experience I have and the confidence I have is because of these failures and these struggles and these scary conversations. And the confidence came through action. It didn't come through study. It wasn't just listening to the national wake-up calls. It was then applying it and being in the trenches and learning that much faster. And I grew up in church, and my dad would always say to me, "You will preach a better sermon with your life than your lips." And I believe that wholeheartedly reflects the same way in coaching. Is if people don't get it, show them. Especially in this social and political climate right now, you can't bash someone over the head with your beliefs, but you can show them a different way. And I think that's truly the way that we need to just put the accountability on ourselves to live out the proof that this is the most incredible opportunity and company to partner with, and we have the best products, hands down, whether or not people object.
Yeah, I think you just nailed it on this concept of, you need to be in the trenches. The best learning, the best education is when you're out talking to people. And, when people talk to me about the vital process or the vital behaviors, they kind of say, which is the most important? And inevitably, it seems like it gets back to personal development. But for me, honestly, what it is, it's in the inviting process, because that's really where you're learning. That's where you're putting your confidence in place. That's where you're learning really the skill sets that are necessary to build this business. And that's where you learn to handle the objections, to understand people, and to take what you just talked about, and put it into practice. So extremely well said. Okay, so you were an inactive coach for 7 months. I haven't forgotten that yet, but you've been a very, very active coach since that time. And I know that you've got a great team. You've got a great husband in Rob, and you're doing some great things. But if you look back, what have you learned most? What have you appreciated most in this journey?
Well, this was not my anticipated response. I became a coach when I was 21, so I built my adult life on the foundation that is Beachbody. And I met my husband through Beachbody, my coach. We've been able to become debt-free, pay off all of our student loans, give generously, love what we do every single day. But yesterday I was reviewing my notes for this call, and I lost my grandfather 36 hours ago. And I was writing out his obituary. I had the honor to do that on one tab, and then I had, my national wake-up call notes on the other. And I couldn't help but just think about legacy and think about how beautiful his life was. And if it wasn't for this opportunity, I have left more of a legacy in the last 6 years on this earth than I thought I possibly could in my entire lifetime. And we're just getting started. So, I can't say enough about how this company has blessed my life and the ability for me to bless other people's lives. But I think more than anything, it's given me the opportunity to write a legacy for my family and for other families for generations to come. And it's humbling and it's moving, and it just makes me proud to be a coach every single day.
Well, I think we're pretty lucky to have you as one of the coaches, and Rob and the team that you're helping develop, and the legacy that you're helping create. And today's call, I know, will help a lot of coaches become a lot better and increase their capacity to become greater legacy creators. So, Chelsea, thank you so much for being on the call. And I read the obituary, by the way, last night. It was just really tender. So, thank you for sharing that moment as well.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right. All the best. Well, coaches, this has been